Hey everyone, Katie Sutton here with your December 2024 energy update. Thank you so much for your patience. As some of you know who are on my email newsletter, my father passed away very suddenly on December 1st. And this is probably the first time in years that I am more than 10 days late with an energy update. And I just thank you all for your patience. Thank you for the kind words that you have been sending my way. And I am ready to share with you the themes of this month. It is an important month. I certainly can feel it with all of the changes that are happening in my life, but everybody that I'm talking to, all my clients that I've seen so far this week have all been echoing that. So let's get into the themes of December 2024. So we have three themes that I'll just list out that we're working on this month. The first is embracing solitude and quiet. The second is inner world expansion. And the third, which we'll be doing a healing circle on December 18th, is finding the light in the dark. We have a lot going on astrologically this month as well. So before I even get into the themes, let me just set up these energies for you so you can know astrologically what's going on. Again, I am not an astrologer. I just happen to always find the astrology that aligns with the energy themes, and I like to mention that if there's quite a few things lining up. I believe we have 5 planets in retrograde as I'm recording this. On December 15th, we have a very potent full moon. On December 12th, we have a very potent energy portal. And on December 15th as well, we have Mercury going direct. But right now, with all 5 of these planets in retrograde leading up to winter solstice, we are in a very unique energy. Okay, this is a period of a lot of illusion, a void space, if you will. And so we've got a lot of things going on, astrologically and energetically speaking, that are impacting these themes that I'm going to bring through. So just know that if you're feeling a lot of complicated emotions, if you're feeling a little stuck, if you're feeling a little unsure, you're probably right on time with these energies that we're processing right now. Okay, so let's talk about the first theme. The first theme is embracing solitude and quiet. I don't think I've ever quite shared a theme like this one before. When the words came out, I was taking the themes down at the end of November, and when this one came up, I was like, oh, this is an interesting energy for us to be in during the holidays, where we're usually trying to be festive and connecting with our families and our friends and celebrating. That's not how we're starting December out. I realize I'm recording this on the 10th, so you all have probably been in this energy for the last several days, the last 10 days or so. But know that this month, especially with all these planets in retrograde, this is not a time where we're probably going to have a lot of energy and a lot of desire to be in connection with a lot of people. We might find ourselves connecting better one-on-one or with smaller groups of people this month. And that's okay, right? The holidays don't always have to look like a big festive, crazy celebration all the time. Sometimes they can look a little different. We have, when Mercury's in retrograde as well, we tend to rehash a lot of things and need to do a lot of inner work and inner examining. And what the guides have said to me about this particular theme of embracing solitude and quiet is that we're in this pre-processing phase of stepping into solstice on the 21st. And I have told y'all for the last couple of months that mark your calendar for 12/21, because there's going to be a whole bunch of light coming in, maybe more than we've ever experienced. We're going to get bathed in a whole bunch of new frequencies. When I try to tune into it, my guides are like, you don't even understand, Katie, what is coming in on this day and what new energies are coming in and things that we've never expected, things that we've never experienced before here on this planet. And so when we're leading up to a big light portal like that, we always need to do extra care and have extra concern for ourselves before that, because we tend to purge a lot of really dark, dense stuff leading into that. Certainly in my life, with my father's passing and that my need to be in my grief process, this theme is very important for me. I have to take the time to take care of myself in this process and process all and work through all of the emotions that are coming up for me in this time. And I think a lot of you are processing a lot of really hard things right now. A lot of my clients that I've talked to are saying that they feel like they're coming out of a dark night of the soul. They're coming out of maybe a place where they felt really stuck or stagnant for a while, and they're starting to feel the energies move, but they haven't quite fully come out of it just yet. The invitation in this first theme of embracing solitude and quiet is slowing down, taking time, going inward. And in the northern hemisphere, we're in the winter months, and that's what we should be doing anyways. But I really feel that this is present for everyone, regardless of what time zone or what part of the world you're in, because even those that are in the southern hemisphere that are preparing to move into more bright summery energies, we still need to take the time to take care of ourselves and slow down a little bit so that we can process all of that light, right? Regardless of where you are on the 21st, we've got a lot of light coming in. And that doesn't always mean joy and ease. I think sometimes people are like, oh, you said there's all this light coming in on the 21st. Why am I feeling like crap? That's maybe because you haven't been able to process the things that you needed to before all that light came in your body, and your energy field is in a little bit of resistance. Sometimes a lot of light coming in also means illuminating some really dark places and some really unseen things, and we got to process that too. So wherever possible this month, make sure you're taking time to embrace the solitude, to be in the quiet energy, okay? And that leads me into the second theme, which is inner world expansion. This one is really interesting. It's going to play into the third theme as well that we'll talk about in a minute. But when I look at this theme energetically and I get an image of it, it's like going inside of ourselves and seeing that the whole universe lives inside of us. And this is looking like, in my sessions with people, an expansion of our ability to be in our autonomy, to calibrate to our own truth, and to really look at the places where we have some deeper inner work to do, and we need to expand our capacity internally to hold space for parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't been able to hold space for before. So this is like imagining that we can take, let's say, our heart chakra and open it up and expand it, and we can create more space for all of the healed parts of us and all of the wounded parts of us, and we can become more in connection with ourselves on a very deep level. I think that this theme is beautiful because it is very much a product of the shift that we had of Pluto moving into Aquarius. Aquarian energy it's about the uniquely defined, authentic expression of self, and coupling that with, okay, how do I take this uniquely defined, authentic expression of self and bring it into my community so that I can make a difference in the world? But in order to get to that next step of what is my purpose and how do I support the world and what do I need to do next to be of service in whatever way that looks, we actually have to get more in touch with ourselves. We have to go deeper into our inner environment. And we started a little bit of this theme last month with our healing circle topic, which was heal yourself, heal the world, okay? This is an expansion of that, where we're going to get to know parts of ourselves, maybe parts of ourselves that have been dormant for many lifetimes this month. I think you all are going to find new capacities, new strengths, new levels of resiliency. You're going to get re-in touch with some things that you've lost. I see this as a thing where we're going to be bringing a lot of maybe lost soul light back to ourselves, where maybe we've left some of our light behind in old conflicts or old traumas, and we're going to reclaim some of that light this month. This is a rebuilding and an expansion from the inside out. And that's perfect as we're leading into solstice, because we're going to get bathed with all this external light and this new information from the cosmos. And so we've got to really be prepared for that and have a strong foundation internally. I hope that this will also create some shifts for you all in relationship as well. When our inner world expands, our capacity for loving ourselves ideally begins to expand. Now, we might have to work through some hard things before we get to that place of self-love and acceptance. But as we expand that, we then expand our capacity to hold space for those around us and to maybe see aspects of them that we've also missed or we've taken for granted. So I do think that even though this is an inner expansion, that we're going to maybe in the coming months see some really fruitful expansions in our relationships and the things that we relate to in the world, like our purpose-driven work. Okay. I also think that this could feel like for some of you a little bit of an existential crisis energy. I had a client say to me yesterday, I just had the realization that I don't even know who I am. And that's this energy, right? It's being in this void space and being like, oh, I thought I really knew who I was, but a lot of that was conditioning. A lot of that was programming. And I'm really pulling out of that. I've been doing my healing work on myself and I'm really pulling out of that. Who am I without all of that, right? Who am I without these expectations and obligations that have been placed on me from others? Who am I without this person in my life that maybe I've just released, or this thing that I've just released from my life? So this is a really important theme, and I think embracing that solitude and quiet that we talked about in the first theme is going to really help you to lean into these energies of inner world expansion. And it may feel a little weird to be doing that this month when, we should be connecting with others, right? But it's okay. Just roll with whatever comes up. And if this one doesn't resonate with you, then make sure you're just setting aside some time to connect with yourself. Sometimes in the holidays, we get so busy with the doing and all of the things on our to-do list that we have to take care of that we don't actually take the time to say, hey, what do I want out of this holiday? What do I want out of this time period in my life? What do I want to cultivate right now? So it's important that we're really taking the time this month to connect in with self, okay? So let's talk about the third theme, which I'm really excited about. It's especially for where I am in this moment in my life. In this really hard thing that I'm going through, and there's been other hard things that have been coinciding with this. It's like that, what I said in my personal Facebook post the other day was, when it rains, it pours. And I'm recording this and it's pouring down rain outside, ironically. But this theme of finding the light in the dark is being able to be in difficult things, work through difficult things, experience difficult things in the collective, and continually be able to find that spark of light, that blessing, that joy, that gratitude, that acceptance, that grace, that support that exists in the hard things. And the essence of this theme, finding light in the dark, is being able to hold two different experiences in equality. We can both be in grief and we can be in gratitude for the blessings of things. We can be in joy and excitement and fear, right? It's really being able to hold both polarities at once and be able to see that kind of yin-yang symbol of them coming together and merging together and creating balance inside of ourselves. And in terms of our energy field, I really think that this is going to be some work that we're doing from the solar plexus up into the throat chakra, where we're tapping into some of that personal power, we're tapping into some of that inner strength and inner resiliency, and we're realizing that we're capable of more than we thought, even when things are looking a little chaotic in our outside world. This could also maybe be translated to finding a calm stillness in a moment where there are things that are out of your control that are changing and shifting all around you. And I think in our spiritual journey, in our trauma healing journey, in our nervous system work, and all the things that I talk about all the time, being able to carve out that light space, that still space within whatever we're experiencing, even if it is challenging, is really what we're doing the work for. We don't need to practice being in trauma response. We don't need to practice being in grief. We don't need to practice being in all of these hard things. That's what the healing work is about, right? We're working through all of those things so that we can practice continuing to hold our light even when things get hard. And I certainly know I'm practicing that this month. And I hope that with all of the things going on in the world, politically, in the war zones that are happening, in the natural disasters that are happening, this has been a really hard year. But I hope as you get to the end of this month and you start to begin to assess everything that's happened this year and look back, that you don't just see the hard things, but you can see the gifts and the light that have come with each of the experiences that you've grown through this year. This is really, I think, a theme of also looking back and seeing how everything always works out in the best possible way, even if in the moment it doesn't feel like that. And I think when we're working through something really hard, it's very easy to forget that. It's very easy to go into a place of hopelessness or fear or trepidation and forget that when we really look back at things, everything is aligning to bring us into the best version of ourselves and the most joyful version of ourselves in the end. And so this is really what we're being asked to do. And last month I talked with you all about everything that was happening in the political landscape, and especially here in the United States and in the world with the different wars and conflicts that are happening and the natural disasters. And I said, look for the people that are doing the thing, right? Look for the people that are helping. Look for the bright spots. Look for the places where you can see transformation beginning. This is the beginning of the anchoring of all this new earth energy that I've talked about for so many years now. And there are bright spots, but if all you're looking at is the darkness, if all you ever are looking for is the negative and the difficult, you're going to miss all of that. And we don't want to look away from that, but we don't want to just hyper focus on that. We have to be able to hold both, and that's how we keep our calm, balanced center as we move forward on this planet in these times of great change and transformation. So those are the three themes this month. We are going to work with that theme of finding the light in the dark on December 18th in our healing circle from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always get the recording if you can't join. I think that this theme, as it's coming together and I'm starting to prepare for that healing circle, is really going to set us up not only for the solstice, which is super, super important, but also for what's coming in 2025 and really completing. We really got to complete everything that we can right now. We got to finish things out. That's what Mercury retrograde and all these retrogrades are about. This is the second year in a row that we've been in this in a holiday time and stuff is in retrograde, and quite frankly I hope we don't have to repeat it next year. I don't know what the dates are for retrograde next year, but I'm hoping we don't have to do this again next year. But the positive high side of that, the light in that, is that we get a chance to close out a lot of uncompleted energy or incomplete energy, and that is always going to be like pulling the bow and arrow back so that we can launch forward really quickly as we move into 2025. Okay, so this is a great theme. I'm really excited to be bringing it through for all of you. It's wonderful to be able to hold that space. I hope you all will consider joining me. I also want to say that my Costa Rica retreat for next year, if you're wanting to start cultivating that understanding of light now and joy and start dropping into that energy, we are going to be doing just that in May when we get together in Costa Rica. We've got a few spaces open for that, a couple of single rooms and some double rooms. That's live on my website. I'll put the link below this video. Our Peru retreat is now officially live. We are going to be doing a divine masculine journey to Asangate and doing some really sacred work with the divine masculine on that trip. And then we have two events coming up locally here in Charlotte, North Carolina, one on the 14th and one on the 21st, both sound healing events and a winter solstice ceremony on the 21st. So check out all that goodness below this video. If you have any questions, reach out to me, comment, let me know how you're doing this month. I would love to hear from you. It just warms my heart to see you all comment and connecting with me and with one another as a community. That's why I do this work. Even when things are super hard in my life, this brings me joy. So thank you all so much for watching. Have an amazing December, and I'll try to get back with you with another video next week. Okay? Bye-bye.